Hey guys, Blue Kool-Aid here. Hey, I know I'm giving you a video here in a few, but I'm gonna give you one today. Um, I have been extremely busy. That is the reason. I'm fine, guys. I know I've gotten a lot of comments, a lot of questions, a lot of emails asking where I'm at, and again, I'm sorry I didn't come on and at least give you guys some sort of a heads up. I've been trying to pop into everybody else's live streams and stuff like that, just so people can know that I'm okay. I do appreciate the concern, and I'm happy that you guys miss me. I mean, obviously, that makes me feel pretty good that you guys are, concerned enough to ask. But first thing I want to say is, hey, Scott over at Planet X News, he's got this notification service up and going, and he's been gracious enough to pay for it out of his own, out of his own pocket, guys. And what it is you just have to go and you click on the link, and I'm going to leave a link here on the bottom of this video. And all you do is you click on the link. It'll take you to that web page, and all you have to do is enter your name and your email address. Okay? When you do that, it's going to send you a confirmation email to that email address. Then all you have to do is go to your email, click on it, and confirm it. And then you're signed up. It's that simple. It costs you nothing. What it is it's a way to get notifications out to the subscribers that we are putting videos up. Okay? We don't have to rely on YouTube to do it. So if you go over and sign up on that, you won't have to worry about, missing notifications and missing some of the videos that we do put out. Scott's been, again, gracious enough to include me on that. So I think that, the way I understand it, he's going to start sending notifications out for my videos also. And that brings me to my next subject here. Guys, you got to understand that there's a lot of work and a lot of stuff that goes on here, and that most people don't see. Okay, people can be misunderstood. People can just be put out there in such a way that they're made to look. They're villainized sometimes. Okay, and I'm here to tell you that Scott is not that way. Okay, now we can all, and even he'll say this, we can all agree that he just comes out and says what he thinks. And I, for one, appreciate that. Okay, he has taught me more about this whole research arena here than anybody else ever has. I mean, and I'm talking like way more. I would challenge everybody to go back to the beginning of my channel and look at some of my videos, and I leave them there for one reason. And the reason is so people can understand that I had to learn also, and I'm still learning every day. Okay? So if you go back and you look at some of the videos that I made at the beginning, I can't even believe I said some of the things that I said. Because that's actually what I believed at the time, and I've since then been corrected. Okay? And corrected in a respectable way. And I definitely respect people that will tell me, hey, hey, this what you said there might be, might be wrong, and this is why. Okay, don't just tell me that it's wrong and then walk away from it. I need to know why it's wrong so I can understand it. And that's what Scott has given me throughout all of this since I've, been talking to Scott here about all this research, and he's become a good friend of mine. And, he's been gracious enough, like I said, to include, I didn't even ask. He just included me in on that. And, guys, I mean, he, even at, if you guys go to my channel and you look at my banner at the top, he made that banner before he even knew who I was. We had spoken one time. He made that banner and sent it over to me and said, hey, man, this might help your channel. Okay, and he's continuously helping me with like OBS and trying to help me with whatever kind of technical ends that he can help me with. Okay, so I'm starting to get to the point where when people start, I'm gonna start taking offense. Just to be honest, when people start slamming people like that I respect, and I respect quite a few people. Okay. You can slam, like I said before, you guys can slam me all day long, but don't put it down in my comment section, okay? You can slam me in my comment section all you want, but don't slam somebody else, because if you do, you're not going to be there any longer. That's just what it has to be. You know, especially when I consider somebody a friend, and that's what I consider Scott and many others. Okay? So, I wouldn't come to your guys' channel and do that, and I just want the same respect. But anyway, to move on from that, what we're going to talk about is this 28-day orbit that Scott has theorized, and in my opinion, again, has pretty much, there's a lot of evidence pointing towards that it's probably true, okay? At least at some level, and I'm going to show you some of that evidence right here. This was on 5/17. I caught this. I think Scott, I might even have it in my previous video, but this is the SDO. This is the 304 angstrom, okay? What you're going to see when I push play here, guys, you're going to see, and I even put an arrow on it here in the video too, but you're going to see like this plasma energy come out of nowhere, about right there. Then it stretches back to the sun, okay? Plasma don't just come out of nowhere, okay? It just doesn't happen that way. So, basically what I'm saying is that it started here, so there has to be something around in here. Has to be. At least in my opinion. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and play this and let you guys see it. And I think I've shown it to you already, but Scott got this in 4K also, and he's got some of this video. And we've been trying to get our times together, but again, like I said, I'm working so many hours right now, it's crazy. But anyway, let's watch that. You guys see that coming out of nowhere? It just starts out of nowhere. It's not connected to nothing. And watch what it does. It reaches out to the sun. Okay? That did not come from the sun. So what does that mean? Well, it can mean a couple different things. It could just be simply an object here reacting, but what it does mean is that the energy is going from right in here, from an object or wherever it's coming from, and it's transferring to the sun. It's not grabbing stuff from the sun. Okay, this is something that I've not seen before. Alright, we always assume that these objects are coming in close to the sun and they're grabbing energy from it. Well, this is different. This one is definitely giving something back to the sun. Alright, that's what makes this one different. That, and it come out of nowhere. And we all know that that's not possible. So it had to come from something. Where'd it come from? Don't know. I would challenge anybody else to go look at any SDO captures. You go look around the corona, you're not going to see something start out in the middle of space and then reach out to the sun. You're just not going to see it. It's not there. So what I'm saying is, this is the only time that I've seen it. And to be honest with you, I just got lucky because I was looking at this, all this plasma loops going around right here. And I just had to be zooming in. I was like, man, that was kind of crazy. What was that? You know, just kind of caught my eye. That's all it was. Simple as that. And then when I watched it, and I watched the, and we'll bring it back here, okay? When I watched it, and it went to the sun, that's what made me stop. I was like, wow. I mean, that's going the wrong way. So, yeah, let's watch that again. Okay, you see how it just comes out of nowhere? Starts out real small, and you can see it grow, and it grows towards the sun. And you can see the movement of this energy going back towards the sun. Okay? If you look at the other energy around it, you can see it moving the other direction, like these plasma loops are going back and forth. Okay? But that was just something that, you know, really kind of took me aback at first, and I sent it over to Scott, and Scott was like, yeah, man, I've never seen that before either. And I think he even talked to Dr. Albers about this one. I'm not sure what she said about it, but yeah, I mean, I don't see anything other than that, you know, coming from some sort of object right there, stretching out to the sun. Now, this was on 5/17. Okay, I'll let you guys watch this one more time here real quick. You see that? Okay. So you can see it reaching back to the sun. It started out in space and went to the sun. It didn't come from the sun and go to this position. Okay, so I wanted to put that out there real quick. Now, that was on 5/17. Now I'm going to take you guys over here to YouTube. And this is, I'm just going to take you over to Scott's channel real quick, because I want you guys to hear what he said. And I'm doing this so you guys can understand that. Now, what I want to say is, when we have a theory, okay, first thing, guys, is when we put a theory out there, if we put an idea out there, say I put an idea out there, right? You can't immediately start talking like it's truth right after you say, hey, this is just a theory, but then you just go straight into saying, hey, this is how it is. You can't do that. And there's a lot of people out there doing that. All right, it's like this 28-day orbit me and Scott's come up with here, and we've been talking about this. He was really reluctant, and he kept telling me, hey, let's just let this pan out. Let's see what happens. And you know, he mentioned it. He said, hey, I'm theorizing this, but he wanted to see what happened. And this is the responsible thing to do. Okay? You can't throw a theory out there like Jupiter's in the sky, okay, or we're orbiting Jupiter, and then talk as if it's true, and really have nothing else to back it up but some photographs of the sky. And those photographs can be very, very scrutinized. Okay, that's not responsible. It gets people thinking things that, you know, like I said early on in my channel, I was doing this similar stuff. I was like, that does look like that. Well, just because it looks like that doesn't necessarily mean that's what it is. It's okay to have these theories. It really is. That's how we come to new things. And I'm just being honest, guys. But you can't put a theory out there and then talk as if it's true 2 seconds later. And that's what people do. It's very irresponsible. You can't do that. Because people that are just coming into this and looking at this for the first time, one of two things. They're going to bite that hook, line, and sinker, and then they're going to think that Jupiter is really that close, and we're orbiting Jupiter or whatever. This is just one example. I'm just using that as an example. Or they're going to think we're completely nuts. Alright? So it either takes some of the validity from what we try to research here away, or they start believing in something that it's physically not possible. Okay? And to the Jupiter thing, one more thing here, and I'll let that Jupiter thing go. It just really bothers me because we are in what's called the Goldilocks zone. Okay? They call Jupiter the gatekeeper. Why do they call Jupiter the gatekeeper? Okay? I would challenge you guys to really go look that up. And the reason why they call it the gatekeeper is because Jupiter protects our inner solar system from a lot of these objects, okay, that try to come into our inner solar system. The gravity of Jupiter, it captures it, and it keeps them in certain orbits and everything else. And I'm telling you guys that if Earth was to break out of its own orbit, we live in what's called the Goldilocks zone. I'm sure most of us have heard that. How in the world could we ever come out of that Goldilocks zone and still survive? It just wouldn't happen, guys. It just would not. You can even go to the moon, okay? If you take the moon itself, don't even move Earth. Just move the moon a few hundred miles one direction. And look and see what kind of catastrophes that would cause. Let alone taking the Earth itself, and we start orbiting another planet, okay? Not to mention you have to pass through the asteroid belt. You have to go through all that. I mean, there's so many things there that is just, man, it's mind-boggling. Okay? So, to say a theory like that and then just talk as if it's true is irresponsible. Very irresponsible. Okay? And like I said, early on in my channel, I leave it there so people can see how I've grown and how I've learned. You know, I really thought about taking some of those down because some of the stuff that I said in those just simply cannot be physically true. Okay? And I've learned that. I've been taught that. I'm able to take correction. Okay? And that's what a lot of other people can't do. And I think I've shown time and time again that I can take correction. And I do try to give you guys the best info that I can in the best way that I can. And, you know, and again, I have to say this, you know, Scott has really taught me a whole lot about what I'm looking at on these tools, especially. Okay? That's what I've been taught the most. He don't just say something and then not give me a reason behind it. He wants me to go look at it. Matter of fact, there's a lot of times he'll say, hey man, you need to go look that up and read up on it. That's the best way to do it. You can't just say something and expect somebody just to blindly believe it. Okay? So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you over here. This is a video he did a while back.
My name's Aaron Rogers, and I graduated from
hadn't been
Institute of Maintenance.
too much long ago.
I was in the military.
Skip that.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Pause that. Now I already know the timestamp I need to go to, but we're talking about this 28-day orbit, okay? And I want you guys to hear this from his mouth, okay? Now, what I want to say is that when you're talking about a theory, how do you go about that? Well, you come up with an idea, right? That's basically the theory. And then you can go backwards in history. Like if you're trying to figure out the orbit of something, like what we're doing here. You go see if it showed up in that cycle that you think it's showing up. Then the next thing you can do with that is you try to be predictive with it. All right? Which is what has happened here. Okay? He noticed a pattern. He was cycling it down. He got it down to the 28-day thing. And then he started saying, hey, if this is true, notice he didn't say this is true. Okay? That's where it becomes irresponsible because we're still trying to collect data on this. I'm just showing you what I have on it. All right? Now, I'm inclined to believe that this may be just what it actually is. Okay? But that is just my opinion. And I'm showing you what I have here. So, if you can go back historically and say, hey, this happened, we're seeing this every 28 days, and then you come out on a video like he did right here, and I'm going to let you listen to it here in a minute, and say, hey, this is what we can expect to see, when and where. And then if it happens, what do you say to that? I mean, there's not a whole lot you can say to that, right? But you almost have to believe it at that point, correct? I mean, that's about where I'm at with it. So, this is the proper way to...
Theory of where...
Let me pause that again. Sorry about that. Let me, 106, there we go. Okay. Now, I want you guys to listen to this just for a second, okay?
Is what you're going to see, and it's going to coincide with my theory of where this object is at this particular time. We are probably going to see these sunspots regenerate. We will probably see another coronal mass ejection, 2 or 3 on the backside of the sun. There was another coronal mass ejection.
Okay, guys, you heard that, right? This was on the 17th. All right? This is the same day that I showed you that energy coming from space. All right? This is the picture he was showing here. I think it was from the 17th. So, and what he's talking about here, guys, are these, remember 2740 and 2741, the sunspots that basically, when they came around Earth facing, they kind of fizzled out, and then when they got over here, they started regenerating, and they went through 2 cycles now. In other words, 2 rotations around the sun. All right, that's where they're at right now. So they got around to the back side, and as soon as they got over here, guys, they started regenerating again, just like Scott said they would. Now, the next thing was, you heard what he said, when they get around the backside, we're probably going to start seeing CMEs and stuff, and you're going to start seeing reactions. Okay? Well, guess what? Well, let me show you something. I'm just going to take you guys over here to my gallery. I could take you over to Lasco C2, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to take you over here because this video is going to be long enough. Let's go. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. Let me go down here to my tool whiz. Oop, wrong one. Sorry, guys. Alright. 518. Okay. The sunspots are over here. Okay, they're starting to go around the backside of the sun. Look what happens. CME. Just like he said, the next day. Okay. This was 28 days before that. This was 28 days before that. You guys catching something here? Catching what I'm laying down? This was 28 days before that. Now, you know, when we go back and we look at this, when we're talking about the sun having reactions, it's kind of hard to say that the sun's going to have it exactly down to the minute, okay? Because the sun reacts whenever it decides it needs to with any object that's close to it, okay? You know, there's a whole lot of factors involved there. But what I'm saying is that we kind of give it a variance of like a day or two either direction. So if we see stuff go in this direction, not only did we see the CMEs that he predicted, but we actually seen the objects, okay? And I'm going to show you some of those. This right here is Core 2. Okay, this is from Stereo A. This is the one that is looking from the other direction. Okay, Earth is over here. So the satellite Stereo A is here and it's looking this direction. So this is the backside of the sun. Alright, that's what I'm trying to point out here. Look, it showed up. Alright. Not only that right there, I think that's an inverse picture. I think I just inverted the imaging. Okay. I mean, I even did that. Look at that. I mean, let's zoom in on that. I mean, serious? Yeah. So, just to give a little extra here, I did this. Does that look in any way similar? Of course it does. Those are 28 days apart. 4 months in a row, guys. Okay? Those are 28. I think one of them was like 29 or maybe 28 and a half days. And like I said, when you're talking about CMEs, those times are going to vary a little bit, but they're almost going to hit right on. Okay? I mean, look at that stuff. I mean, really? So we'll go on to this one. Put it in that format in case you guys wanted to see that one too. I mean, those things look almost identical. It's definitely blowing off in the same position. It's reacting to something over there. Okay? That's just some of the evidence that we have. And I'm not going to go too much further into that right now. I'm not sure what I got here. Oh, yeah. Well, that was during one of those CMEs, guys. You want to question whether or not there's an object? Well, there's your proof. And like I said, I got more. And I do. I got lots more, actually. I have quite a bit more. Let me go over here to my screenshots. Okay. There was a couple of them here that I really found very, very interesting. Is this one of them? Yep. Okay. Now, what I want to show you guys here is this is during one of those CMEs, okay, that we just I showed you. I think it was on, I think this one was last month. We've been talking about how we're seeing more than just one object, right? Well, this one here I believe has two, okay, this particular capture. You could kind of see it here. I could put it on some filters and draw that out a little bit more. I probably will, but you can kind of see that, right? Well, but look right here. You can literally see this thing reacting to this object that's probably about right here, okay? It's hitting kind of the surface of it right here, and you can kind of see it spidering out. Can you guys see that? I know it's kind of hard to see. Maybe if I back it off like that, it's kind of easier. You guys kind of see that? Now, I need to put those on some filters. And again, look. Here's that one. Okay, remember I said that this is where the object would be? Well, this is about 15 minutes before. Oops. Look at that. Look, that's before the energy hit the surface of it. It's there. There's something there. Not to mention, you know, I don't have no idea what that is. I mean, it could just be energy. All right. Now, you know, and like I said, guys, we got to really try to just let this pan out some more. And I'm thinking we're getting to the point where we can almost call this a very, very viable theory. Okay? And again, I just went through and I did some simple, you know, capturing 420. This was on the 24th. Like I said, guys, you know, and you see this thing and it's reacting in the same spot on a cycle like that. It's just, it's so hard not to think that, you know, is what it is. So, anyway, then check this out. Now we're to the point now where this object is going to be coming around the other side of the sun, right? You know, this was back on the 17th and 18th. It's now what is today? I don't even know what today is. 29th, maybe 30th, something like that. In other words, 10, 12 days later. Well, guess what? Look at this. Scott showed this in his video yesterday, and Joanne, one of his subscribers, caught this. This is amazing. Look at this thing. This is not edited whatsoever. This is the 211 angstrom from Helio Viewer. That's as simple as it gets. Okay? I mean, wow. Now, that's just a backed up view of it. And if you look down in the bottom left, you'll see the dates. Okay, this one was from the 25th. Okay, so that would have been a week or two after what I just showed you. Okay, now, I want to point out something here. This is what most people look at. This is the SDO, right? This is our view from Earth. This is the 211 angstrom. This is what you would see if you went there at this specific time. I want you guys to understand how hard it is to catch some of this stuff sometimes. And for her to catch this, Joanne, I got to give you props on this one. Because I didn't see it. I don't think Scott's seen it. Obviously, you pointed it out to him. It's up here, guys. Look how little that is. Okay, this is what you're going to see if you just go to SDO right now. Okay, well, not this particular capture, but this is the view you're going to see. So unless you zoom in and you start looking, okay, you're not going to catch some of this stuff. That was just remarkable. It really was. Such a great catch. But anyway, let's see here. What else I want to talk about real quick? Okay. Yeah. We're getting these solar winds and stuff lately too. Okay, guys. There's a whole subject behind that. That's going to affect our magnetopause and stuff. This is some of the captures I've got from it. Obviously, you see how we got a big, thick area of red out there in the front. That's not usually like that. Then you see stuff like this. And what do I say by that? Is there's virtually no connectivity right here in the middle. That is very odd. Okay. And then this one. Now, what I want to point out on this one, see how it's getting compressed up here? And why am I showing you this one? Well, this, you know the 8.0 earthquake we had in Peru last week, I believe, a few days ago? This was that day. Okay? So, I'm not saying that the magnetics or the magnetopause caused that earthquake. I'm not saying that it couldn't have had something to do with it, is what I'm trying to say. When you see this magnetopause should look like this. Okay, it should be almost a perfect bow shape. Okay, when you see it collapsing down, especially that direction, that's when you got to really take notice. Okay, not to mention that the red stuff here, that is intense heat. Okay, so you know it's getting affected. So we're getting affected somehow, some way. Not only were we getting pushed from the backside, because that's why you see it coming up this close, but we're getting compressed this way. So it's kind of like, how your aunt would take your cheeks and squeeze your cheeks together. That's kind of what that is. Okay, yeah. Well, I guess squeezing your cheeks together can mean a whole lot of different things. Sorry about that. Shouldn't have said that. Anyway, but yeah. Okay. And there's that. Now, again, you guys can go look at the solar wind. Our geomagnetism went up to, I don't know, I think it got up to like a 5, maybe into the yellow a little bit. Geomagnetic storm level. The KP probably, I think it got up maybe 5 or something like that. But yeah, I mean, we got to pay attention to that kind of stuff. Now, here where I live, guys, you guys have been watching the weather, I'm sure. Most of us have because of all the bad tornadoes. Well, I live 15 miles, guys, from all those bad tornadoes that hit Ohio. Okay? As a matter of fact, the same storm that went through there, we had a tornado warning where I live from that storm right before it dropped the big EF3. Okay? Now, I went to my back door. My wife was like, man, I hear rumbling. It doesn't sound like thunder because it wasn't stopping. And so obviously I grabbed my phone out, and this is what I catch, right? This is lightning. Okay? Lightning was non-stop, I just have to say, number one. Number two, you see how small and short that is? Okay, this is cloud to cloud lightning. Nothing's hitting the ground here. Look at that. See the color? Now, I know we've all seen those kinds of colors come from lightning. Most of us have. These are unedited, by the way. And again, you get that one. Okay. I did take this in landscape mode. I don't know why it did this vertical crap on me. I must have had a button pushed or something. But anyway, you see how that's going from cloud to cloud, and see the distance there? I mean, when you see colors like this, it almost lends me to believe that we got some sort of plasma or something else going on right there. I don't know. It could be something as simple as, had a bunch of hail in this storm, because I know it did. And, when you get hail in a storm, it's like having ice crystals, okay? When you shine light through ice crystals, you get different colors. That's their bogus excuse sometimes for some of the sun dogs that they say. But that is what it is. But this right here is the electronic potential difference, okay? This is basically how juiced we are. Now, something I want to say, this graph here, about a month and a half, 2 months ago, I pointed it out to Scott that they hadn't even been updating this graph until then. So why all of a sudden? And when you see these spikes, okay, I mean, yeah. We were seeing them way off the top of the graph, matter of fact, for a while. But, yeah. And something else, I'm going to touch on something here too. When we're looking at Core 2, matter of fact, I'll just take you to one of the captures here. Yeah, we'll just go here. This will work just as good as any. Okay? Now, we see a lot of stuff on LASCO C2. Okay, we do. This is what we're looking at. Okay, we have to understand what we're looking at, though, too. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you guys something real quick. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. This is the definition of a black hole. A region of space having a gravitational field so intense that no matter or radiation can escape it. Let that sink in for 1 second. Okay? A region of space having a gravitational field so intense that no matter or radiation can escape it. Now, I've seen some videos lately, and I've tried to help a little bit by trying to correct this. And I've seen a video basically saying that there was a black hole next to the sun that was 3 times the size of the sun. Okay, now after reading this, the definition, this is just a simple definition of a black hole. Do you guys actually think that that's possible? That a black hole 3 times the size of the sun could be in that close vicinity to the sun, given what a black hole actually is? Okay, it's said that the gravitational field and pull of a black hole is so intense it can slow time down. Okay, so let that sink in just for a second, and then you got to question yourself, and you got to ask what you're going to believe. Is there a black hole 3 times the sun ever been that close to the sun that it showed up on the LASCO C2 about right here. Okay? Now, I'm going to use an analogy that I've used multiple times. You see this white? That's the size of the sun. So, for something to be 3 times that size, which is roughly, probably, about the size of this occulter, probably even a little bigger. My guess is, it's about like that. So you're telling me that a black hole, we caught a black hole on the LASCO C2 that close to the sun. And it ain't just sucking everything in it. I don't know, guys. I just got to point that out. I really try to help, and I really do. And, you know, and again, people have their own theories and the way they think, and I don't want to, you know, pull people one way or the other, but I do want to put my spin on this, because that is something we've got to be careful of, that we can't, just because we're talking about a so-called conspiracy theory type of stuff here with the Planet X and all those kinds of subjects that comes along with it, we can't go so far that direction to think that there's a black hole 3 times the sun, that close to the sun at any given time, without it completely just jacking up our whole solar system. Okay? Number one, if there was a black hole 3 times the sun, the size of the sun, that close to the sun, well, guess what? It had to travel there, right? Or we had to travel to it. So it would have to pass through a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay? And again, the Jupiter theory, you know, they call it the gatekeeper for a reason. We live in the Goldilocks zone, guys. You take our moon and you move it just a little bit. Just a little bit. And we don't survive. I want you guys to understand that. If you take our moon and you move it a couple hundred miles out further or closer, we don't survive, guys. This planet is no longer habitable. So how can we go and start orbiting another planet? It just is not possible. Okay? At least in my opinion. Okay, it's okay to theorize those things, because then if you can kind of prove it later on, if you have viable scientific evidence for that kind of stuff, which is going to be really hard to get, because, you know, like I said before, we don't have $1 billion in our pocket to go throw a satellite up there and look at whatever we want to look at. You know, we can take photographs all day of our own sky, but there's so many factors there that we gotta keep in mind. And it's the truth. A lot of the stuff that we see, we have to be, and it ain't all of it. Okay, I want to put that out there too. There are legitimate photographs out there that are catching things. Okay, people are catching a lot of things, but we have to be vigilant in what we look at and what we see. We can't just look at it and just assume, because a lot of it is lens flares, a lot of it is this, and a lot of it is that. And again, go back and look at some of my early videos. Okay, I'd have to go back and look, but I would venture to say that I was showing quite a bit of lens flares, and for that I apologize, but I leave it there so you guys can see how I've grown and how I've been able to, you know, learn certain things and be educated at least a little bit more. You know, like all Skycam, okay? And I don't want to upset people, but all Skycam guys, those lenses that they use on those cameras, they look like a big bubble. Okay, if you guys go look at them, just go look at the equipment. Just Google it. You're going to see weird stuff on that just because of the shape of the lens. The majority of the stuff we see on those all Skycams are dirt. It could be oil. It could be soap bubbles. It could be anything, guys. It really can. Okay? So when we look at those things, we have to keep that in mind. Now, I ain't saying that we don't ever catch anything on all Skycam, because you most certainly could. But it's going to be few and far between, and it's not going to happen every day. All right? I mean, it's just not. So, you know, and again, you know, you guys know that I don't even like talking about stuff like this because I try to keep all the drama away from my channel. But I feel that I have to say this because I want my subscribers to understand that I'm actually trying to educate myself to the point where I can at least have some sort of a educated guess on what's actually going on. And you guys, I want you guys to understand that I try to research as far as I can into something before I just come out and say it. Okay? And I want you guys to be careful of those that don't do that. I mean, you can't just say something and then call it a theory and then talk as if it's true. Because you want to know what? That's the same. You guys ever had somebody walk up to you and say, with all due respect, and then they just disrespect the holy crap out of you? That is the same thing. Okay? And I know, you know, I guess if you want to go to the comic book heroes, you can do the old Spider-Man saying too with what is it? Great responsibility. Whatever that saying is, I guess. I don't know. Great power comes great responsibility. There you go. You know, I ain't saying we have great power, but we got these tools to look at, and we got a platform, guys. And we're out here, if we're out here talking about something, we can't just be saying things just out of the blue. Because it's going to affect people. What a lot of the other channels is, what if there was a 12-year-old or a 15-year-old watching one of my videos? And I told them that I think that we might be orbiting Jupiter. You guys understand the ramifications of that? That kid could go to school, start saying, hey, we're orbiting Jupiter. I mean, come on. Do you understand the ridicule that kid would get, number one? Number two, do you understand how much the teachers would be all over him? That's just a small thing. You know, you got people that are out here prepping, and we need to prep. Prepping's a very good thing. But we can't just sit there and be irresponsible by saying, hey, oh my gosh, you know, Jupiter's in the sky. It's not it. It's just not. It's not there, guys. Okay? And again, guys, you know, I appreciate all the theories. I really do, because I think that leads us to answers. But we have to keep them as such. We have to keep them as theories and talk as if they're not proven until they are proven. And I know this is kind of long and drawn out and all that, but I know I haven't given you a video in a minute, but we're going to go ahead and end it here, guys. Actually, I'm going to show you guys one more thing. I'm just going to end it right here, okay? That's, you know, 4 months in a row, and we got captures of it right here too. And I got a lot more stuff we can show you. And, you know, I think me and Scott are going to get together on a live stream here shortly, and here in the next few days, if I can get some time off. But, yeah. 4 months in a row right there. And I even went back to some of my old captures and went back as far as a year ago. And some of the stuff that I was showing actually hit this 28-day cycle in that same spot. And I'll go into that more in depth. But, anyway, guys, God bless. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to go sign up for that notification service. I'll leave the link down here in the bottom. All right, guys? Do it. It's free. Scott's paying for it. It's awesome. You guys will get notifications. No questions asked. Just be sure you guys, after you guys sign up, you guys go to your email. This is where people are making a mistake. You got to go to your email, whatever email you used, and confirm it. That's all you got to do. It literally is less than a 5-minute process. And then you'll get notifications of Scott's videos, and mine, I'm assuming, I think, too. So, but anyway, guys, God bless. Yeshua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.